Hello, everyone. I'm Tracy, and I'm here with Shane. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today's video, we're going to be reading some of the comments that we received from our last video, the fog video. And I was really overwhelmed by the response. I think we're at like 1,300 comments and a lot of reports of very interesting fogs and reactions, sicknesses, illnesses. So I wanted to share some of that with you all. And at the end, I have a really quick update on the fire from Maui. We had a really um, intriguing photo come out of a submarine that was seen off the shores of Lahaina before the fire. But first, let's start out with, I'll just play a little bit for those of you a little bit newer to what's been going on. And this is, I think this is LA, but I think they said it was somewhere else. But this, really thick fog has been showing up all over the world, actually, different parts of the US. This is LA. In LA, where I am, we did experience this off and on through the winter, November, December. And then last week on Monday, February 4th, another really heavy fog came through. But the fog in LA, to me, it felt a little bit more normal. It definitely had moisture in it, but for the area I'm in, it's unusual to have a fog so heavy so frequently. And I'm hearing that from all over the world. I'll just really quick put up a map of this came out on the 6th of February. So just I guess 6, 7, 9, 10, well, 5 days ago. And the gray parts are the reports of the unusual fog. Some people say that they got sick. They have reported a whole array of different symptoms. And some people say it left a sticky residue or slimy residue, and also reports of a unusual smell. Some say it was a sulfur smell. Some say it was a chemical smell. Even someone said it smelled kind of like garbage. But all different types of unusual scents have come around with this fog. And let me start out with here, this one. Wait, is this okay? From the 3rd in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach. They is this where the test was, where they found the bacteria?
No, the test was in Florida, but the video was from Myrtle Beach.
Okay, so in Florida, they did find this bacteria. Maybe Shane, you could explain it a little better than I can as far as what they found in the fog with the test. Did you want to touch on that a little bit?
Sure, they took a sample of the fog and then had it sent off to be tested, and it came back as positive for Serratia marcescens, which is an antibiotic, or it's a bacterial infection, which is highly resistant to antibiotics such as penicillin, cephalosporin, and tetracycline, and others.
Okay. Oh, wait, here is that report. I'm sorry, I forgot we had this up, but someone did test it, and this is a report that came up. And here is another report from West Central Florida that they've been getting these dry fogs. So there's no moisture in these fogs, and they also tend to kind of linger. So as would be expected after a normal fog to lift mid-morning, just gray gloom that hangs on sometimes far into the afternoon. My health is normally perfect, and I've not been sick in literally decades, but something slammed me hard in January. Feverish, but not sweating, hot and chilled simultaneously, aching body and crushing pressure like a truck was parked on my head. Thought I would die, but that passed overnight, leaving me with a hoarse cough and upper respiratory congestion that took me nearly 2 weeks to shake off. I'm unjabbed and fought my way back to health with chicken soup and mega vitamin C. So yeah, that's a pretty extreme case, and a lot of reports came through from the UK and France, and this is one from Normandy. They said that they've been in Normandy getting fog for 2 or 3 weeks now, very heavy fog, and I was wondering how come this long all day, why the weather report people just didn't mention anything unusual. Of course not. We do have fog here, but this is heavy all day and day out, almost never. So they don't normally get this lingering of a fog. It didn't clear up around noon as usual. Many people felt sick, depressed, had low energy. When I got out of work this Friday evening after a day-long fog, I had the impression that something was crawling up in my nose. I felt something. I took my homeopathic remedy right when I got home, and I kept it under control over the weekend. It's the third time this winter I feel sick. I never get sick. Yes, the fog is probably bringing us bad news. I might wear a mask next time I see fog. I was so against it during 20 to 22. And that's what I was thinking too. I was so determined to never wear a mask again, but I kind of think in this situation it might be
It might
beneficial.
not help as much as you would like it to. For if there is, biologicals or even chemicals in the fog, you would almost need like like a military grade gas mask to filter all that stuff out.
Yeah. Okay. And this is from the United Arab of Emirates. Sorry, what is this? The UAE? This is in the Middle
United
East,
Arab
right?
Emirates. It's in the Middle East, yeah.
Okay. So there's a report from the UAE, and this person looked out of their balcony. They were shocked to see I think they meant thick fog. Couldn't even see the surrounding buildings. Also, cloud seeding is very common here. So, right, there's been a lot of reports of geoengineering in the Middle East. Saudi Arabia got that crazy rain that flooded an area that hardly ever gets rain. So that area has been experienced a lot of unusual weather events. And then here's another one. Um, yeah, this one is really unusual. I won't read the whole thing. This is from Montreal, Canada, and they describe it as pea soup fog. I'm kind of thinking that might mean it's a green color. I'm not sure. And what's really crazy about these reports is a lot of people are reporting shingles. And that shingles, at least in what I've learned, is that it's not a super common thing to get. You can get chicken pox when you're younger, and then it's usually not till you're much older, like 60, 65 plus, where you can get shingles as a recurrent. I guess is it the varicella virus comes back? Is it the varicella virus
Yeah,
that
chickenpox virus, varicella, yeah, is the same
right? And
virus that caused shingles.
when it comes back as you're older, it's extremely painful, and you develop a rash, and a lot of times it lingers for a long time, and people are often debilitated from the pain.
Yeah, and I think the reference to pea soup was
And
how thick
here's
that fog
another one
was.
about. Did I read this one already?
Um,
I think I read this.
I think so.
Okay, or maybe not. This was just about someone said their grandson has been getting red nostrils during the fog. And here from Northern California, they've been noticing this fog since around Christmas. They've lived there their whole life, and this is not normal. It smells. A lot of people have been getting sick. My mother-in-law thought she had shingles, but hasn't been able to get in to see the doctor. But again, unusual fog. This is like a dry fog, and also headaches seems to be something that's being reported a
Oh,
lot.
Yeah, headaches are very common with this, and they're splitting headaches.
Okay, I think did you get that too? Like a really bad headache?
I had really bad headaches last weekend. Yeah, not this weekend, but the weekend before.
Okay. And then here another report of shingles in their right hip. They said that, I don't know where this is from. Oh, Central. Oh, this is from Mississippi, Alabama, Central Alabama. And I heard this area also has a lot of school closures because so many kids are
Oh,
coming down with the cold or a flu, and maybe they're linking it to the fog. I'm not sure.
yes. Well, I don't know if they're necessarily linking it to the fog, but it is linked to the fog. So all these places that had fog and sickness are now having school closures due to sickness, not because of fog. So that happened in Arkansas, that happened in northern Indiana, and I believe that also happened in the area where they're from around central Alabama.
Okay. And then here is a really interesting report from Mark, who is a friend of our channel. And this is what he thinks about shingles. Shingles is what you get sometimes when your frequency is really low. I got it in 1986, 3 weeks after I was married. They gave me Zostrex, which was developed to fight herpes. It goes cold sore, chickenpox, shingles, and herpes, all forms of the same virus. Chickenpox hides in your spine, lays dormant until your resistance is really low. We were told as kids that once you get chickenpox, you never get it again. Not true. Shingles takes so long to recover from because of the pain. I had severe headaches for a month. So I think if you never had chickenpox as a child and you get it as an adult, it comes out as shingles, right? It presents as
Um,
shingles.
you say if you never had it as a kid or if you did? If you never had it as a kid and you catch it as an adult, it can present as more like all over like chickenpox, but it'll be severe like shingles, and so it can be actually a very debilitating disease, especially with the neuralgia that can linger, the nerve pain that can linger afterwards.
Right, from the nerve damage, right? The virus
Sometimes, yeah,
will damage the
it
nerve.
it can sometimes damage the nerves. Yeah.
Right? And that's neuropathy, right? Kind of like diabetic neuropathy,
Yeah,
retinal neuropathy.
neuropathy or neuralgia. I can't remember which word that
I
is,
think
but
both.
yeah, but those can actually linger after shingles. And I did want to say that he mentioned how frequency is involved, and I'm not going to deny the role of frequency in such things, but I do want to talk about like the immune system. So, like the immune system, once you catch chickenpox as a kid, your immune system normally keeps it under control for the rest of your life, unless there is some sort of event or chemical or something that suppresses your immune system temporarily. And those are the times during immunosuppression when things like shingles can come back.
And a lot of reports, and I know you have a couple people in your circle who have the shingles around their eyes, which is
Right.
extremely dangerous because it could affect your vision. That's my
Right.
understanding.
Yeah. So shingles around the eyes, like on the eyelid and everything, as long as it stays out of the eye, it can just be mostly a nuisance. But if it gets into the eye and it can cause swelling or other kinds of like or pain, even so people can actually lose their eyesight from having shingles in their eyes. So
Right.
that is one complication that can develop.
Yeah, that's really terrifying. Okay, and then you want to take this one?
Okay, so yeah, this is something I found on Twitter actually, or X, and this person said, "Yep, I'm in North Texas. Just took my mother to the ER last week for what turned out to be shingles, and they were so full they were seeing people in the waiting room. They told us 80% were there with flu, might want to wear a mask. We were. Seems everyone at work or their kids are sick. And that's in northern Texas, which, if you look at the map here, you can see northern Texas did have some lingering fog on the 6th. And that actually was occurring prior to that, too. So I think from probably February 2nd on through the 6th and 7th, they were having fog in that area.
And then you also said a friend of yours that had the shingles in his eye went to the doctor, and the doctor said that they had already seen 3 cases
Yeah,
of shingles around the eye.
Yeah, his doctor referred him to an eye specialist, and the eye specialist had said that he had seen 3 other cases in the same week of shingles around the eyes, which is normally pretty rare, but that was 4 cases in 1 week for that particular eye specialist, which is very unusual. And it was him that also had a family member in Arkansas that has the same thing at the
Right, and
same time.
they're not elderly. I was
No.
trained some time ago with this on this disease, and we were trained that this rarely happened under the age of 50, and it was almost always in the elderly population.
Right, and I guess shingles is so rare in the under 50 population that even the shingles vaccine is not recommended for people under 50. So there have been a lot of people in their 40s who tried to get the vaccine and were actually denied the vaccine because of their age. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I had never heard of a case of someone even under the age of 60 to have shingles, at least anything that required them to go to the doctor. Okay. Was there anything else regarding the fog that I missed that we wanted to make people aware of? I wanted to make sure people understood how widespread this was, and just just so you're more aware, maybe take these symptoms more seriously and go to the doctor and get treatment. In our last video, we make some suggestions about supplements and things that you can take. And we'll also link the Alpha Vedic affiliate link where you can get the black seed oil. That's not necessarily for shingles, but more for the cold and flu symptoms. And oh, by the way, for those of you who have ordered from our affiliate link, thank you so much. I was really overwhelmed by how many people went out and bought that product, as well as some of the other products. Bear Lando is a friend of ours, and we did a podcast with him last month. And we just happened to be familiar with his products, so I tried some of his other things. And so they offered us a affiliate link. So we get a small commission every time you use that link to purchase something from Alpha Vedic. And also you get a 10% discount for your first order when you use that link. So for those of you who used it, thank you very much. I was really not expecting that kind of reaction. Okay, was there anything else that we wanted to
Yeah,
talk
I'll
about?
just quickly say that when it comes to black seed oil, if you have like a cold or flu or sore throat symptoms, take it at the first sign of any symptoms, and you might be surprised how fast it actually works. Now, with that, I wanted to say about avoiding the fog. So if you do see a fog and it's not like a moist, wet fog, and it seems to have like a large particle size and or a smell to it, I would say avoid that fog the best you can. You can try to wear like a normal mask, but it's only going to do so much. So I would say try to stay indoors. And I'm not advocating for any sort of lockdown or anything like that, but I am saying avoid the fog the best you can. So if there is a fog outside, try to, stay indoors, or if you have to go somewhere, leave the windows in your car rolled up and don't turn on the AC.
Yeah. That's weird. I've never felt like I had to avoid the fog. I was always kind of a fan of it because where I grew up there wasn't fog. But
Mm,
yeah, I guess we can't do that anymore. Okay,
yeah.
so I'll get on to the report or the photo we got from Maui. And I know we have a lot of new subscribers now, so welcome to all the new subscribers. I think since the LA fires a little over a month ago, we have like probably 9,000 more subscribers. So welcome. And I wanted to, I guess, reintroduce myself a little bit, why I do this. And the whole reason that I have this channel the way it is and I report on these topics is because I'm from Hawaii, and when I heard about the horrible fire in Lahaina, I just from the second I heard about it, I knew there was something not right. So I dug into what happened, and I just had to know, how did this happen? It just wasn't right. There were so many red flags that suggested that there was a nefarious purpose behind that fire, that it destroyed an entire town, which in Hawaii is extremely rare. I've never heard of that happening in Hawaii before. So I put out a couple of videos, and I got this like overwhelming amount of support. And from there, I just continued to follow it. And a big motivating factor was to make sure that that story stayed in the media so that people wouldn't just hear about it and forget about it, because that's generally how things are. There's just so much to keep up with. There's so many tragedies now that it's so easy to forget about the previous ones. And I wanted to make sure that people didn't forget, because a lot of people lost their lives. A lot of these people their names will never be known. And um, I just wanted to uncover the truth as much as possible. And that led me down this path. And now I'm talking about fog, but I've covered many other topics. I think I'm probably at over 140 videos now about these type of things. But really, my heart is still with Maui, and I wanted to share this photo. And this is of a military submarine that was spotted off the shores of Lahaina on August 6th. Now, the fire ripped through the town on August 8th. And I had been getting reports of a lot of military activity, including ships, aircraft, and submarines the days before. And I had never gotten proof of a lot of this. I saw some, I think we shared some images of aircraft on the day of, but I forgot who gave this to us, but maybe they don't want to know, they don't want us to say who it is, but
I think they're
um,
anonymous. Yeah.
okay. But they did get this photo and sent it to us fairly recently. And this is another commonality we see in these types of events, heavy military activity the days preceding these tragedies. And this kind of submarine is, I don't know how common they are, but I don't think they're
Well,
there all the time.
it is a nuclear submarine. It looks like it's either a Los Angeles class or an Ohio class submarine. I couldn't tell you exactly which one. I went through a lot of pictures, and the closest I could guess was the USS Groton, but don't quote me on that.
Okay. So yeah, I wanted to make sure I shared that. Just a really quick update. Chief Pelletier is in court today, battling a civil suit about wrongful terminations. And so our friend Clyde Holokai, who was the assistant police chief when Pelletier became Maui's police chief, has been keeping us updated with what was going on, and he's appearing in court to testify today. So maybe there'll be some justice today, and we'll keep you guys updated on what happens with the legal issues going on with the Maui Police Department. So I think that's going to do it for today, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you guys all for being here, and we'll see you all soon. Bye.